Hey guys, this is another episode of Dad's World. Today I'm going to show you how to fix damage done to your front door by the dog. If you have a wood door, and like most of us, your dogs go wild when the UPS guy, the FedEx guy, the Amazon guy, or whatever, the squirrel outside that makes fun of my dogs, sometimes you need to fix the door. I've had to fix mine several times. Most of the time it's just scratches, so you can sand it, restain it, and polyurethane or urethane it, whichever one you have on your door. However, my dog Hooch, the wild one he is, let's see him. He's right here. Hooch, you want to talk? He got a little excited over a squirrel outside. Now, he's never chewed anything, but he was nice enough to help us on some chewing. So the first part of this video, I've already done some of the patching up on it and shaping, but I'm going to show you what to use just to kind of cut down to the time. And then hopefully it saves you a lot of money and realize your door doesn't have to look like hell afterwards. But this is the damage he did over here, and I'll show you. You can see, you gonna come over here? Or you can see he really did a number. He chewed this in. I've already filled this with basically a paintable, or let me rephrase, a stainable wood filler, and that's the key word, stainable. You can see all the other damage on the front here. Scratches, those are easy to fix. But he really did a number up here. There wasn't much wood left, and then it has bevels in it. So I have a bevel here, and then a bevel here, and then a straight line. That's a hard thing to screw around with. So, what do we do? First thing I did was try out was a Minwax kind of putty. That's what it's called. This is a mahogany door. This did not work, by the way, so scratch that. It never really dries and you can't stain it. I didn't realize that till afterwards. So, I went with Minwax stainable wood filler. Keyword, stainable. If not, all wood filler really is like a plastic kinda, a resin that hardens. Well, this comes in like a foam to start with, so it's really easy to shape. So all you have to do is take it open, you scoop a tiny bit on your little wood putty filler here, scraper, and then basically, I did this in layers. I slowly filled in all the chewed up area. And then as I did that, I gave it some time because it's really soft, so it goes on really easy. About 5 minutes after I did that, I came back and I started shaping it because it starts hardening pretty quick. And so I started shaping it, shaping it, shaping it, shaping it, and then I let it dry the rest of the way. The next thing I did was get some sandpaper. I used this is 800, but basically, I just went on here and I rough sanded some of this, okay? To try to get some shape. Then I went back and took more wood filler after it dried and filled in again the areas that I wasn't so good in shaping because I'm not an artist. Okay, and I filled in the other chunks out of the door. Those are easy. Once I did that, I sanded it all again, nice and smooth. You can also use a Dremel, which I did. I took my Dremel down it, but you could scrape it with a little scraper too and make your lines if you need to. You may have a flat door, so it's just easier to fill it, scrape it down. Anyway, I sanded it down. I made that easy. The next part, what we're gonna do, now that it's shaped and ready to go, since mine is a mahogany door and it has red mahogany on it, I got Minwax mahogany stain. So it says you're supposed to put a couple coats on this, and the longer you leave it sit, the more definition or darkness it gets. So what I'll do is I'm gonna paint some of that down. You're gonna see that in the second part. I'm gonna let it sit, then I wipe it off, okay? As long as it gives me the right color, I may stop after one, but it'll probably take me two. In my history, I've done this many times. I've had to restain the door many times. It usually takes a couple, okay? Just remember, the longer you let it sit on, the darker it's gonna get. I think it takes to penetrate it, let me see on the back of this thing. Ooh, 5 minutes. So it dries up pretty quick. The next thing you're gonna do is once you get the right color, and that's everybody's door is a little different or whatever you're doing, the next thing you're gonna do is you may have polyurethane on it. I have urethane. Now they're very similar. The difference is spar urethane is water-based. Polyurethane is not water-based. And so what happens is over time, if you've ever seen on your wood floors and stuff, they're actually turn a little yellow if you use polyurethane. If you use spar urethane, they won't turn yellow. That's a big deal. So it just depends. Spar urethane is just a tiny bit more to use and cost, but very reasonable. But once again, it leaves it clear. The sun does not turn it yellow over time. I use a clear semi-gloss right here, and you just paint that on with a simple paintbrush. Very easy to do. This is something you're gonna need multiple coats of. I usually do 3 coats. I let it dry. If it's on the outside of the door I'm working on, it dries really fast in the heat. I mean really fast, but I give it an hour and then I go give it another coat. Inside, I'll probably give about the same amount of time because it doesn't even take the hour outside. By the time I'm done staining the door outside with the spar urethane, it's already dry on the bottom and I can really start again. It really dries that fast. And the spar urethane helps to protect the door from the sun and stuff. It's more important probably on the outside than inside. The inside, it gives it that nice kind of glossy look. But that's how you finish it after everything's filled, sanded, cleaned. You're also gonna wanna take the whole area. I sanded this area, but I also sanded across here. Any area that I'm gonna have to add spar urethane or stain, you can see my things, you need to wipe it with a cloth too. But any area you're gonna wanna kinda loosen a little bit with that light sandpapering. That's gonna let the color and it's gonna let the spar urethane soak in and hold better in the long run. All right, guys, I'm gonna go do this and then I'll show you the finishing touches. Hey guys, this is Rich again. This is part 2 of redoing the door. So I've applied the first coat of stain and I had to go back and add a second coat, especially where the wood filler is, because it stains a little different. And since it's raw, unlike the rest of the door has been stained about 3 different times. So it's actually had a base coat, let's call it. So we had to go back and let it go on. I left it on approximately 10 minutes, give or take. So the second one I'm gonna give at least 10 minutes. The longer it sets in, the more it soaks up. It says up to 15 minutes, 5 to 15, depending on how dark you want it. Since those areas were so light, I'm gonna let them darken to kind of blend it more, and then I'll wipe it with a rag again. Currently, this is what we're looking at. If you notice, it's dark. If I can get our light going, it's pretty dark and hidden. Mind you, I've already went over it once. While I was there, I had a bunch of other scratch marks. Instead of redoing the whole door, because I really didn't want to do that, I did fill in some of them. That way they kind of blend more, since, especially in the area that I'm gonna urethane. You can see them down here. I kind of just darkened them, and hopefully some urethane will fill them a little bit, kind of hide them a little bit. That's all I'm really doing. Eventually I'll redo the whole door. That takes a lot of time. I've had to do it several times, and that'll clean it up a lot more. Right now you can see those areas especially needed it. This one, where I had to put so much filler and shape it, needed it the most. And if you see right in here, I'm gonna probably have to put a little more right there. But anyway, I'll bring you to the next part, part 3. Hey guys, this is Dad's World again, trying to finish up part 3 of this door. I just put the first coat of urethane on. There it is right there, spar urethane. Coming out pretty good, considering this is the damaged area. If you look real close, you can't even tell they're in their pair. Now what I did is I did the usual staining twice, then I came back, and this area was really damaged, you know, all in here, all in here. So what I did was I put a coat of stain on just those areas again for the 3rd time, and I kind of just let it sit overnight, knowing that those areas would kind of get a little darker. Since the stuff's like a plastic resin, it doesn't hold stain like the regular door, even though it says made for stain. So what I did is I tried to cheat. Obviously doors have different imperfections. You can see the dark and the lightness of this red mahogany, okay? So nobody's gonna know the difference right here. I even got the light right on it trying to show it. Nobody's gonna know the difference if that's just a darker piece, and you can't even tell by look. I mean, I know it's there and I have a hard time telling the difference. Now mind you, I didn't try to get all the scratches out of the wood because I'd have to redo the whole door, and I didn't want to do this. This is supposed to be a quick fix. And I got about a half hour total time. It took me to put the spar urethane on about 5 minutes. And then what I did was, after the first one, I used a heat gun. You can get these on Amazon for like 20 bucks. Just kind of speed up the first part of the process. I'm gonna let it sit a little while, go exercise. Then I'm gonna come back and put another coat on, and I'll probably put a total of 3. It hardens the outside of it, makes it have a better look, and since the dogs are just gonna scratch it again, I'm sure in time, hopefully it helps repel some of their scratches, and it'll fill in the minor scratches that are already there too, the urethane will. All right guys, I'll give you a finished product at the end. Hey guys, it's another episode of Dad's World here, part 3 of the door. I want to show you an end result. It came out pretty good. Remember, I did not try to get all the scratches out. I didn't want to redo the whole door. This is supposed to be a quick fix. Basically fix the chunk marks that came out, the chew marks, try to patch up some of the imperfections, get it stained the right red mahogany color, and put a nice urethane coat on it so no to the regular eye doesn't catch it, and you can't tell at all to the regular eye. If I get down and inspect and get real close, I could probably find some nicks and bite marks. Actually, I think they got it again today with some of their claws. You know, that's for another day to fix, but I'll show you the results. So the door was all tore up right here. I had to use that wood filler in it, and if you look, I'm using the light on purpose to try to show you there's almost no color variations. You know, this is what I had to fix. In the wood filler, where it's a lighter coat, it's hard to do. The last coat of stain I put on there, I kind of left right in this area just a little bit because it was the lightest, and it held it pretty well if you really look. Yeah, I can see the new scratches of the day right here. Love those dogs right there. They got me already. But anyway, hope that helps. Quick fix for you guys. If you like it, subscribe, comment below. There's lots of ways to do this. This is just a cheap, quick, easy way. That's not perfect, but it hides imperfections. Maybe you're moving and you want to clean it up just for the next guy or girl without redoing a whole door. That's what I would say. Thanks, guys.